This is U.S. Cellular Local 5 Sports Extra.
Good evening and welcome to the show. Tonight we'll wrap up the Women's U.S. Open at Erin Hills, plus go over the Packers' organized team activities. And joining me tonight, Packers running back Josh Jacobs. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man.
They call them OTAs for a reason, but let's be honest. Underwear Olympics, right? No pads on. You got helmets and shorts. You're just working out, getting to know your new teammates. How's it gone so far?
Man, it's been good, man. And a lot of the guys we came in, it's going to be some good additions to the team. A lot of these young guys can really play, so it's going to be fun.
What'd you think of the draft? Now, I don't want to say you maybe had an influence on that, but you made a little waves back during the Super Bowl week when, look, Media Row, there's 100 dudes down there. And you did multiple interviews, podcasts, you name it. You talked about wide receiver one. Is that a real thing to the guys? Forget about what the media says. Forget about fans. Forget about talk radio. Does that really matter as a player?
Nah, not really as a player. Not really in our locker room. But a lot of the guys, man, we got a deep wide receiver room. A lot of those guys have a lot of ability. And it's just about doing it at a consistent level and doing it at the highest level possible, which I feel like a lot of them will. You can see them come in this year, it's just different. The energy is different. The way that they look, the way that they run their routes, everything is different. So it's going to be fun. Well,
look, Jaden Reed has been the leading pass catcher in terms of yardage. But on any given game the past couple of years when Christian Watson was healthy and he was right, he was the man. Romeo Dobbs, he's got his own select skill set. Once in a while, Dontavian Wicks, Bo Melton. Like, you're the workhorse in the backfield. But when you know they can spread it around, that's kind of what Matt LaFleur's offense lends itself to, isn't it?
Yeah, man, and it makes it really hard to defend. I mean, because, one guy might be the focal point one week and another guy might be the focal point the next week. So it makes my job a lot easier, for sure.
And not having a pretty good offensive line helps too, right?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
I mean, it all starts with the run. I think I can speak for a lot of Packer fans in this way. We didn't get a chance to see a lot of Raiders games. We all knew Josh Jacobs from the Sports Center highlights. But what do you feel? How do you feel about the way this team runs the football under Matt LaFleur? Because we really and this is zero disrespect to Aaron Jones. Everybody loved Aaron Jones. I'm saying you've taken that running game to a new level.
Yeah, man. I mean, the schemes, man, though, obviously the offensive line, I can't give them enough credit, but the schemes that Coach puts together, I think it fit my style perfectly. With these guys, our receivers, they're not afraid to block. And, like I said, we can throw the ball a lot, so it makes it very hard to predict what we're going to do. So for me, man, it makes my job a lot easier.
Did we see that more when Jordan Love got hurt? Malik Willis, the game plan? Like, I watched it and I went, wow, they were not ready for what you and Malik did, because it was a little different than J. Love.
I mean, you got to think, he came in, a week? He had a week to prepare to play, and then came in and beat his former team. So I think that's just a testament to, him. But not only that, the coaching staff put him in the best position to win.
How does a veteran like you actually truly view these OTAs?
I think for me, being a leader on this team, I think that is very pivotal, because a lot of guys got to see what the work looks like. And especially the younger guys, coming in, they got to see and feel and understand this is how we go about business. This is how we go about, wanting to, be great as a team. So for me, I think it's like instrumental for me to be there, and that's why I came.
Well, you mentioned the leadership role. Is that something you've always embraced? Is it something you've done it by example? Because you don't seem to be like the super rah-rah guy, but you just kind of let your play on the field do the speaking for itself. Yeah,
I feel like you have to lead by example first. I feel like people have to watch your actions and see how you go about it, and then once they respect the way that you go about it, that's when you can become more vocal. And for me, I just try to say, I don't try not to talk too much, but I try to say the things that need to be said. And sometimes players be, scared to say the things that need to be said, but I never really had a problem with that.
Does that go back to your roots?
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like how you grew up?
Yeah, man. I mean, my dad always told me, like, you always got to have them uncomfortable conversations. And, like, if people respect you and they know it's coming from a good place, it would always be received a certain type of way. So I've always been taught to be that way, address the problem or the elephant in the room, and that's kind of what I've tried to do.
I remember at the end of last season, there was a joint interview session in the locker room where you and Xavier McKinney were talking together. And I asked you point direct. I said, did you guys really make this decision together to come to Green Bay? And you said yes. And you looked at each other and you knew right away, college roots, we get it. But go through that process, because you know what? When you play your first contract in the NFL, that's a big deal. And you don't know how many more you're going to get. there's very few third contracts, but that second one is a big one. The decision to come to Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Take me through it.
Man, so when I found out X was thinking about coming, I was kind of already thinking about coming too. So like I found out about it and I called him. I'm like, man, what's your thoughts about this place? You know, I've talked to, you know, a couple of the players and even former players, and I'm asking them, I'm like, why is this place so special? And everybody that I've talked to was like, man, that's a special place to play ball. They love the game. They go about things the right way. And coming from organizations where we didn't win as much, you know, we wanted to win. You know, that was the biggest factor. And then seeing the team that they already had, it was like, okay, we don't have to come in and rebuild or revamp. We kind of just got to come in and play our best ball. And that's kind of what we try to do. And we made an agreement together, and we've been doing it.
What was that wow moment when you went to training camp where you were like, wait, bikes, kids, sold? I mean, because it's a different beast.
Yeah, man. I mean, when you see all of the like Hall of Famers and all the greats riding the bikes, the pictures of the bikes in the, you know, facility and things like that, it makes you like, you have to do it. Like, it's one of the things like, I got to get a picture, I got to do, you know, if the greats did it, I got to do it. And it's a unique tradition. Like, it's nothing like anything I've ever seen. And I see like a lot of fans really enjoy it, and like, you know, it's a big moment for the kids. So it's fun to do. Well,
I know we'll talk a little bit in a moment about how you give back, whether it's back in your home state, you're going to have a camp coming up here in Green Bay. First, what did you like most about last season? What would you like to improve on?
Thing that I liked most, experience in Lambeau. You know, you already hear about how historic it is. You hear about, you know, how great the fans are. Experience in Lambeau is definitely unique. It gives a college atmosphere type feel, but then also playing against high-level competition and winning a lot of games. I mean, that's the thing that I love the most. The thing that I want to see, I would say, is, you know, first get back, you know, ahead of the NFC North and, you know, take over the North, and then eventually, you know, go to the Super Bowl. I mean, I think that's on everybody's mind in that building. It's kind of like Super Bowl or bust this year.
You were looking at my notes, weren't you? That was my next question. You know that right there. NFC North, improving, beating the teams that beat you last year, and ultimately beating the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Isn't that that's the bottom line? The level is here. Playoffs are nice, but you want to bring home that Lombardi trophy.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, playing in the playoffs, well, my second time in my career, it's just like you get that hunger for it. And it's like them games are way more intense. There's a little bit more like added pressure, but those are the games I like the most. So.
Well, and look, you've already proven what you can do on the football field, third last year in rushing yards. Now the ring is the thing. Am I right?
Yeah,
that's it. Like, there's really nothing left to prove.
I feel like that put, you know, they take you from great to like legendary. So definitely.
Yeah. Well, we will see what happens after training camp as the season rolls on. You'll get those Eagles here on Monday Night Football. I know there's some games you schedule and you circle on the schedule. That's definitely going to be one of them. All right, let's talk about that football camp Friday night, June 27th. Couple of things here. It's kids ages 7 to 14. It's going to be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Friday night. Why and what do you want to accomplish with all the youth here in Northeast Wisconsin?
Yeah, so I've been doing this camp for 5 years in my hometown. So to be able to come out and do it here in Green Bay, in a place where I'm trying to give back and, you know, leave my imprint on, I think it's huge. I think we're going to, you know, teach the kids a lot of things. Also, you know, give them all, you know, one-on-one treatment, and we also have some gifts and some other things lined up too for afterwards. So I think it's going to be a good event.
Well, and it's not just for the boys out there, girls. If you want to go out there, because now girls flag football is becoming a thing, not only in junior high but in high school. There's a couple leagues around the state of Wisconsin that are going on. So go to his camp the end of June, and then it's a couple weeks off before training camp. What are you going to do? You're going to go somewhere and take a little vacation, or what?
I don't know if I have time for a real vacation, but I might take like a mini vacay or something like that. Go back home and go fishing for a few days. But that's probably about it.
Well, I know one of your draft picks likes to fish, right?
Oh, yeah. He was fishing yesterday. Well, today.
Was that Savion?
He was fishing today.
He's already out there. And you know what? This is the place to do it. You got Lake Michigan. And just make a couple phone calls. I know there will be somebody that would love to take you walleye, northern, you name it, out on the bay. Josh Jacobs, appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Best of luck the rest of the way, and good luck this year.
Appreciate it.